hardcore pass. And then it's like, mate, let's say you are into that. You message that person. You're like, hey, are you in, Denver like I am, or wherever you are? And he's like, oh no, I actually am. I'm back in Arizona, back home. And I was like, oh, so like you were in Denver, and so you were just like hitting on people while you were here, but now that you're home and you still haven't changed it, that's awkward, because even if I was okay with the distance, I now know that it's like, hey, it doesn't matter where you are, I'm gonna give it to you. All right? It's like, okay. I don't know. There's something just like so unappealing about that. Maybe that's just me. But it's not. Let's be honest. It's gross. So Tinder, with that one, it is so easy. It is all about, people are just so vulgar. There's no there's hardly ever, hey, how's your day? How's it going? Or if they do, it's like, hey, and this is a conversation I had with somebody once. He was just like, hey, how's your day, baby? And I was like, great, except for I'm not your baby, right? Because I'm like, we just met. We haven't even met, like, back it up. And and he was like, oh, okay, sorry, sweetie. And I was like, all right, so you're not catching on to the fact that I'm not interested in that kind of name calling, I guess you could say right now. Okay, I don't need these little baby names, Romeo. And he was just like, so, like, you DTF? Okay, so those people who don't know what DTF stands for is down to, and then the F word, which I feel like is not appropriate to say on this show, so I'm not going to. But it's like, they will pretend to care, and then, psych, don't, not interested. They might ask, how's your day? Tell me a little bit about you. What do you do for your living? And then all of a sudden, boom, dick pic, out of the middle of freaking nowhere. And it's like, what is happening? How did that escalate so quickly? Like, what is wrong with people? What in your head makes you think that I'm sitting here, a single mother who is just at home with her kids, working, whatever it is I do, that I'm like, hey, I really wish I could see a dick right now from a random person that I don't know and who calls me baby, even though I said, I'm not your baby. Like, what guy is sitting there and genuinely thinks that that's what we're thinking as single women? Right? Like, that's so weird. Why do guys do that? That's so weird. Especially if you have like a weird one. Let's be honest about it, like, yuck-a-do, okay? Bye! So that's my little rant on the dating apps. If you do something like Match.com or Christian Singles, I think it's called, the ones that you pay for is where you're actually going to get quality men. Because you're not going to pay for something. You're not going to pay to find a date if you're not ready to date. Otherwise, you can just use all these free apps and just, put yourself out there all over the place. Whereas the apps that you're paying for, it's a much bigger profile. They're asking in-depth questions all about your religion and your life, if you have kids, if you're a smoker or not, if you drink, if you you can, and then they give you suggestions for people who have similar qualities and similar goals in life. And you can say, hey, I'm not interested in anyone who smokes. I'm not interested in anyone who has dogs or whatever it is. And then, and I know some of you guys are freaking out like, what? Who doesn't like dogs? Well, that's me. That's why I said it. Okay. And so you can pick these, the type and quality of men that you want out there, or women. I'm talking to both males and females. I just like to, it's obviously easier for me to go into the women's perspective. And so, I don't know. I've never known someone to pay for something if they didn't truly want it. You know what I mean? It's like, well, I'm not going to go buy a car and then not drive it. That's stupid. That doesn't make any sense. Okay? So the same thing applies. And if I'm going to buy a car, I'm not going to buy like a hunk of junk, one that might break down on me, or I don't know, it just looks ugly and ugh. Yuck, it's like stains. Ew. That's grossing me out. I am going to look for a very nice car, one that compliments me, one that it's like, yeah, I could see us being together forever, my ride or die, you know what I mean? So if you're looking for dating apps, that's the kind of app that I would suggest, is one that you have to date the dating app. Okay, sorry, one that you have to pay for. So I did have a lot of success on Match.com. I think the guys were a lot more genuine. They were upfront. And they just seemed like they were in a good place. And especially mentally, they had more confidence. And they were willing to put themselves out there more and in a gentleman way than any other dating site. Okay, that's my real rant on the dating apps out there. So how do you become approachable even behind the screen? That can be tricky at times, especially if you don't have confidence and if you're not like, hey, check me out, I'm here, I'm single, ready to mingle, whatever it is. If you're kind of like, ooh, I'm hiding behind the screen because I look ugly, or I'm chubby, or I don't think people like me, I don't think I'm funny, I blah 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 blah. Okay, well, duh. Okay, what you put out there is what you attract. So I don't care what you freaking look like, if you act confident and you think you're truly beautiful because you are, then that's what you're going to attract, is confident, beautiful people. People who have a job. If you're like, I live with my mom in her basement and I like to play video games all day. Okay, well, I promise you, a very successful woman is not going to be like, oh my gosh, is that my dream guy right there? Like, okay, no, nothing about you screams that is going to be a perfect match, right? So think about what you are allowing on your profile, how you're putting yourself out there, and how approachable you are. Are you coming off as cold? Are you welcoming? Are you like saying inappropriate things on your profile? Like, I'm not here for a long time, but a good time. Okay. Or are you like, or are you going with like funny old school, pickup lines? Because for me, like, humor works. I don't care how dorky it is or how like cheesy. I love like dad jokes. I think they're so funny. They never get old. And I like little icebreakers where it's like, okay, that was clever, other than, hey, how's your day? Oh, Romeo, like, back it up, slow down, it's too much. Okay, so put some effort into it. Holy moly. Even if you're nervous, just read something on their profile or give them a compliment or talk about something that you saw that lets them know, hey, I'm not just attracted to your face. I'm interested in getting to know you because who you are is important to me. Right? So that's the vibe you want to put out there. So if you're trying to reach out to people, then you need to be commenting on something that they mentioned in their profile. Or just say, hey, looks like we've got this in common. That would be really fun to go out and see a comedy together. Or, oh, wow, I saw that you liked plays. Let's go see a play. I don't know, whatever it is that they're into, right? So that's the key, is to make that instant connection, and to allow yourself to be vulnerable enough and make the first move if you have to. There's nothing wrong with that. I have this one cheesy pickup line that I love, and it gets amazing feedback. I don't even care if you're not into pickup lines. It's just amazing. I like to say, hey, is your name McDonald's? Because I'm living it. Okay, and I know I'm laughing at my own jokes. That's fine. But it's like, like, who wouldn't read that and be like, okay, dork. Like, but at least you reached out and you said something and it probably made you smile or laugh or just at least think twice about me. You're now thinking about me in some way, good, bad, dorky, whatever. You're like, okay, that was different. The point is to stand out. Just like, okay, if you've seen the show The Bachelor, The Bachelorette, 25 women will pull up in a limo to meet one man outside. And not only does he not know their names, and how the F is he going to remember 25 women's names, they have to say something creative. They have to say something that stands out to get his attention, to say, hey, I am 1 in 25, but I am one that you will remember. The same thing applies for online dating. You want to be memorable, and you want to just give off positive vibes and good energy, and just like, so go with the flow. Otherwise, conversation's not going to flow. It's not going to go anywhere. You're going to seem cold or shut off, or that you're not ready for a relationship. And then it's like, okay, well, why am I pursuing this person who's not interested in pursuing me? You can only chase somebody so much before it's like, okay, well, this is old. Okay, so that's a little bit on being approachable. And, if somebody does message you and you're not interested, so let's say you're on POF or something where anyone can message you, don't just ignore them. That's a dick move. I hate that so much. Like, I think that is so rude. I don't want you to just ignore them and be like, yikes, bikes, freaking hit the road. Just say, hey, I really appreciate you reaching out to me, because you want to validate this person. That took guts and confidence to reach out to you, not knowing if you will respond or not, or reciprocate feelings. So say, hey, I really appreciate you reaching out to me. However, I'm not interested in dating you at this time, but I'm always open to being friends, or, whatever, or just say, good luck and take care. Because anytime I've ever done that, like 97% of the time, I will get somebody who will respond and be like, wow, thank you for actually just responding to me and being nice about it. He's like, mostly girls will just ignore you and you never hear from them. And that gets old really fast, Plus, then the girls who do that, you just look like a jerk, right? And same with guys. It's like, okay, bro, you're not above messaging me back. I'm a person. Thank you. Let's at least acknowledge that. Like, we're all here on the same app, so obviously we have something in common, right? There's no, like, I don't know. Get off your high horse, okay? Message people back. Be polite about it. And be accepting of rejection. Think about it in the way where it's like, you just dodged a bullet, okay? You don't want someone who doesn't want you. Like, how annoying and frustrating is a relationship when it's like you have to pull somebody to be active and participate and act like they freaking care. That's not a relationship. That's just you babysitting somebody and like telling them what to do all the time. And I don't know about you, but personally, no thank you. I already have 2 kids. I don't need another freaking kid, right? So those are my tips on becoming more approachable. Let's move a little bit more into how do you manage multiple dates and conversations. So like I said before, it is a science I have mastered. It's very overwhelming. Especially when social media and dating apps, if you're at a low place in life and you don't have a ton of confidence, or if you're just looking for hookups, if you're that Tinder person, and I say this with absolutely no judgment, because I was a Tinder person, absolutely. That's why I know what I'm talking about. If you are just looking for hookups, and you're trying to juggle multiple people who are talking to you, if you have multiple dating apps and they're just coming at you